It's end of September and we have to bring back the FairLady to her winter hangar. The season was covered with bad weather and storms, and so it continues. We arrived late at night in Sundbeck to start early in the morning, but the weather forecast reports thunderstorms and squalls. We got the boat ready and waited for them to pass. Finally, at 12:30, we could untie the lines with wind of 9 knots and seas of 30 centimeters. We sailed with Genoa only, and rounding the peninsula of Holnis, the wind picked up to 17 to 20 knots. And here, out of the outer fjord, the wave soon reached 1 meter. We decided to quit for the first day and went into the harbor of Langbaligo. We hoped for calmer weather the next day. The next day it was very foggy, so we left only at 8:30 when the fog had gotten less. The waves were still at 1.7 meters. The wind had 30 knots. With northeasterly winds, that was quite a nice sail, which I could not really enjoy because I felt a little bit sick. At 11, the wind had picked up to 18 knots, but unfortunately the waves as well to 1.20 meters. Our Genoa tour again. Feeling sick in the first place, I really got seasick now. I was cold and shivering, and in the end was feeding the fish. Therefore not much filming here. Coming closer to the Kiel Fjord, the sea eventually calmed down, and I felt better immediately. We got a phone call from a friend and arranged for dinner that evening. But first, my stomach enjoyed a good cup of green tea. We brought the Genoa to a sailmaker and he fixed it for us for the next morning. We decided to leave the next day for the Kiel Canal. Waiting an hour at the lock, the sun came out and we enjoyed a warm and beautiful sailing day to Flensburg.
Der putzt sein Schiff.
Ich weiß ja nicht, wer das da drüben ist, aber wer immer das auch ist, der putzt schön sein Schiff mitten in der Zufahrt zur Schleuse. Ist schon ein paar Mal angehupt worden. Bin gespannt, wie
Die
das
Europa
weitergeht.
2-1 Mond. Europa 2 hört. Niklas, du fährst so weiter, ne? Weil ich
Just before we turned off to Flensburg, we picked up some diesel at the radar island, which is now starboard from us. next day we carried on to the lock of Bootsbüttel and stayed there overnight, since the right tide for us to go on the Elbe River up to Hamburg was the next morning at 8 o'clock. The weather was real bad today, and for the first time we had little waves on the Kiel Canal. I've never seen that before. Cold and rainy, it's not a pleasure on the Kiel Canal. One gets bored quite easily. After docking at the marina in Brunsbüttel, we did some sightseeing at the lock. Arriving back at our boat, we were surprised to see 3 other boats towed to ours, but they secured our boat very well. Thank you. At 8 o'clock, the whole harbour emptied into the lock. For the first time, I was driving into the lock. Quite proud. The weather forecast announced squalls up to 30 knots, so we only put the Genoa up. But as so often this season, the forecast was wrong and the wind got less. We still decided against the main to keep dry so we could stow it away easily the next day. Watch the birds, even they have enough of this ugly and cold summer. 5 hours later, we docked at Yacht Harbour Hamburg for the last time this season. Hope to see you all again in 2018, where we'll start hopefully our sailing around the Baltic Sea. Cheers from the FairLady.